Hi everybody, in this video I want to talk about the lesson planning assignments for the course. This semester you are going to plan 3 formal lessons. One of them will be taught in your field experience. The other 2 do not have to be taught in your field experience, but they certainly may be. And I would encourage them to be. I do encourage you to teach as much as you possibly can in your field experience. The lesson that you have to plan and teach and assess in your field experience is one that is about reading comprehension. And so that lesson plan must include explicit instruction in reading comprehension, not just practice. So you must be teaching, and you can be reviewing something previously taught, but teaching a comprehension strategy or skill or reteaching a comprehension strategy or skill has to be a major part of the lesson. The other 2 lessons, one is vocabulary, and I'm going to have some options for you for vocabulary. You can do a separate vocabulary lesson if you want. You may also include vocabulary as part of your comprehension lesson, because oftentimes we do teach vocabulary as we're teaching other things. And so again, here I want this to be really explicit vocabulary instruction. You'll learn about this as you learn about vocabulary strategies in the course and in your textbook. So it's obviously not, oh, they're going to learn these 5 words that they're going to copy out of a dictionary or, dictionary.com. Please don't do that. Make sure that your vocabulary instruction is explicit, following practices in your book. But again, if you want this to be part of the comprehension lesson, that's fine. And what you'll do then is you'll submit that part to the vocabulary lesson assignment. And then again, another one where you just have to plan it, teaching it is optional, involves writing some part of the writing process. And again, by writing, I don't just mean, oh, students are going to do an exit ticket at the end. I mean, you have to teach something related to writing. It's not just having students write. There has to be some instruction about writing. For the template, you can use the BSU template that is included, and I will show you where to find that in a minute. You must, no matter what you do, complete what I call my addendum. I have included things that aren't part of the template, although I think they should be. And I think that they're important for all teachers to include. And I talk about those in the video I made about lesson planning in general. So I'm not going to go over that again here. I just want to show you where to find things. And then the page here, the lesson planning page under assignment information, that module is also going to these are the things I'm going to look for in your lesson plan. This is what the rubric is going to look for. This is what is on the BSU, the current BSU template. If you have an old template or something else, that's fine, but you need to make sure that you include this information. None of it is optional. Unless it specifically says optional on this list, it is not optional in your lesson plan. So let me show you where to find all that good stuff. To find it, you are going to go to Content, and you're going to scroll all the way down to Assignment Information, and you're going to find their lesson planning. And underneath lesson planning, you're going to find a submodule called Lesson Planning Resources. And this is the lesson plan template, the most recently updated one that at least that I have access to. The addendum that you must complete no matter what. And then the final part is part only of the lesson plan that you teach, and that is a formal reflection over that lesson plan. And I will talk about that as we get closer to field experience. For the lesson plans, for the due dates are in the sort of the second half of the semester. And I do that because I know that some of you are in your own classroom, so your field experience, quote unquote, has already started. But many of you are not in your own classroom and you don't have your field experience placements yet, or you may or may not have them at the time you watch this video. And so the lesson plan due dates in the second half of the semester are a little flexible. They're sort of suggested due dates. There is a lot, though, to do during the second half of the semester. So what I strongly encourage you to do right now is to just sort of brainstorm for your content area what would make sense for particularly for writing and vocabulary, because those are lessons that you do not have to teach, you only have to plan. And so while you don't need to plan them out now, you might want to start on it. That will be less work for you at the end of the semester. I hope you found this useful, and I hope this answered some of the questions you may have had. If you have other questions, please reach out and let me know. Thanks for watching.